what you're eating, except for that it looks good or tastes good. You know, you are what you eat, and if you're eating a lot of salt, you may be buying yourself some trouble. Meet Dr. Michael Fischi, who is a cardiologist, who's also the head of the board for the American Heart Association. Salt, very much an issue for you.
It is. Well, especially in cardiology, we're very cognizant of the impact that salt intake has on people with heart failure and hypertension, but it's also important for the general population. And we as Americans tend to consume more sodium than current guidelines suggest.
You know, a lot of people say, I don't ever put salt on my food. The problem is salt is one of those ingredients that's hidden in almost any processed food.
Absolutely, Laura. It's ubiquitous to the American diet. One of the foods that is very high in sodium that we don't even think about is bread. So when we eat bread, it's part of our, I mean, who doesn't love bread and eat lots of it?
Right.
And it's a very, there's a very high salt content in bread and also in processed meats. And as you can imagine, you add bread with a processed meat to eat a staple of our diet, which is a sandwich,
yeah.
And you've got a recipe for excess sodium.
Okay, and is there, obviously you look at the ingredients and you see how much of the percentage it is. What is the number that we should try to stay to as far as how much amount of salt that you eat daily?
The American Heart Association recommends 1,500 milligrams of sodium as the maximum in a day. That's actually a lot less than what we're currently consuming. Most Americans consume about 3,400 milligrams of sodium in a day.
So almost double or more.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
So a lot of people say, but I really like the taste. What do you do about that?
Sure. Well, it does take some adjusting. Your palate does accommodate, though. The foods that you used to find tasty, like those salty French fries or that pepperoni pizza, once you get used to less sodium in your diet, will taste too salty and actually not actually very appealing. So you actually can get used to a lower salt diet. Your taste buds accommodate.
And if you're the cook in the family, there are a lot of substitutes, spices, there are a lot of other things that work too, that still give you flavor, just not that salt.
Absolutely.
Okay, doctor, thank you so much. The advice, take a look at the ingredients, make sure that you're not going way overboard. Obviously you splurge every so often, but don't make it a regular part of everything.
Right. Moderation is the key.
We're telling you this because there's a big event coming up for the Heart Association. National Wear Red Day is this coming Friday, and it is also the kickoff for Go Red for Women. They're doing that at the Nottingham here in Syracuse on Friday morning. The reason is that heart disease is the #1 killer for women, and we really want to make sure that more of you are around for a long, long time. And if you modify your diet, might work. Doctor, thanks so much for coming in.